And welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Last time Bowser was swimming with the fish, and we got the location of the next crystal star, and sadly we have to rely on this nut job to get us there. Off screen I actually leveled up Vivian, because we literally have 6 shine sprites. Now we're down to 3, so we have more than enough. And it says Flavion, the queen of the countless ships in my personal fleet. Man, he's full of it. He makes Colorado look sensible. Yeah. I'm surprised Mario doesn't doze off during this, seriously. Did you speak? Yes, of course. The problem that has sprung up. I had completely forgotten about it. The SS Flavian. Jesus. Focus, man! Got treasure to hunt for! End of the world's at stake! So we need the navigator. Need an absurdly skilled helmsman for our navigator. It is how you say, a pickle. Oh, Flavio. Heard you talking there, sir. If you don't mind me saying, I might have a solution. It's not tease me, Papach. You can't solve our problem. Then spit it out already. Well, I've heard talk of a famed though legendary sailor living in Oakpool. I think he's called Bulbury. An old salty sea dog by all accounts. He's said to have the helmsman's touch, sir. It's just the helmsman's touch to stick with the theme of his dialogue. Awesome, boom, problem solved. Let us scout out this Bulbury fellow and get him on board. I guess I'm saddled with it. No complaints, aye, sir. Aye. Sounds fair. Good plan. Well, that wasn't Crump's voice before. Good plan. I don't know why I'm talking like this all of a sudden. Yeah, Crump's was more like, I don't know, kind of low bass kind of voice. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting my voices mixed up because I'm doing too many of them. Okay. Back. Focused. Focus time. We need Yoshi. Vivian's Fiery Jinx is one of the best moves in the game. Unfortunately, it does take a fair amount of FP, so that's disappointing, I suppose, but it's just something you have to accept. Yeah, I seriously wish Flower Saver also applied to partners, but it doesn't. The other day I saw this guy jumping from roof to roof. Man, he was so dashing. You know, actually I think he might have been a bandit. Maybe that's why he was sneaking into chimneys. Hint, hint, hint. Okay, so as he hinted to us, we can actually go into this chimney. Inside we find... What do you blokes want? You seek Admiral Bulbury. Never heard of this gent. Take your search elsewhere. That's not suspicious at all. Literally, this is the only house in Roadport we haven't gone to, so... chances are he's Admiral Bulbury. But he just doesn't want to help us. So, let's just ask around town. And by ask around town, I mean, let's ask Podley. Or, wait a minute, this isn't Podley. The Podley was the guy in the other place, in the Glitzville. Heart's burning for my long lost love. Her. Jolene. Admiral Bulbury, yeah, I know him. You know that house just past the wall in the eastern part of town? That's his. But I think both of you in here would be better off if you just let him be. What? Oh. I'm dumb. I forgot what I had to do. You have to talk to Podley, and then talk to Bulbury again, and be like, hey, dude. Or, actually I did it in the wrong order, essentially. Because you're supposed to talk to Podley first, and then you cut to the chase this time. But Bulbury, haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. Now, if you please, time to act, Super Sash. I've already found out that you're Admiral Bulbury. But Poppycock, tell me, what would you want with me if I were this chap? You say your ship needs a navigator and you want me to do the job, hmm? So sorry, but you'll have to look elsewhere. I shall set sail upon the sea nevermore. That's not cool. You want to see me beg or something? Is that it? I say no. What I mean is no. Well, looks like we're not getting anywhere with him fast. What's the next move, Chief? This salty dude's going nowhere fast. I didn't even know salty was a thing back then. I mean, people always joke about salt. There's even a salt emote on Twitch, but I didn't know like salty was a thing back here. 2004. Then again, I hear a lot. I don't know where the term salt even originates in this context. Well, I can't say it. That surprises me. The real question is, are you folks really sure you want Bobby back on the water? Oh, is that it? Now I see. You want to mount an expedition to Keelhaul Key. Rough seas out there. Most sailors would meet their ends. Not old Bobby, though. The fact of the matter is, Admiral Bobby's tale is sad. Horribly sad, actually. Yeah. We need to hear it. In that case, get ready. Bobby's tale will go something like this. Bobby was once married. He had a wife of enduring beauty named Scarlette. The two of them were madly in love. The sort of love reserved for fairy tales. Now Bobby was a renowned sailor, so he was away from home for long periods. Scarlette never complained, though, and always waited faithfully for Bobby's return. Bobby, his eye never drifted. He loved only Scarlette truly and deeply. So they lived and found happiness where they could, and all was good for a time. But not all good things can last. There was a particularly icy winter when it happened. Scarlette fell ill. A virus, a passing cold, no one knew. But it soon turned serious. Bobby at sea on a long, lonely voyage knew nothing of his bride's suffering. By the time he returned, Scarlette had succumbed. She was gone. Bobby, of course, blamed himself. My loving wife perished because of me. If I were not at sea, I could have nursed her to health. I could have saved her. He was overcome with such thoughts. They tormented him always, haunting his sleep. He has never gone out to sea since. What a downer. Guess that's a pretty good reason for hating the ocean. You all know his tale now, so tell me, do you still want him to return to the sea? We have no choice. Well, I understand. Very well, I understand. If you're that determined, then I'll give you this. The old letter. On her deathbed, Scarlette wrote Bobby a final letter. You hold it in your hands now. I don't know what's written inside, but I can tell you what she told me as she lay dying. If I should succumb to this plague, and if my love should blame himself for my death, then give this letter to him, so he may hear my voice. It was her last request. When I saw Bobby in misery, trying to forget the pain as he mourned his wife, I just couldn't bring myself to present this letter to him. I've regretted it ever since. Take this letter, and do the deed I was too cowardly to do. Take it to Bobby. Listen, Podley, thanks a ton. We'll deliver this thing. You feel better, okay? Let's roll, Gonzalez. That is a lot to sink in. A lot to absorb. Okay. Let's switch to Goombella. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I'm gonna try to be better about using all the partners. I've mostly just been using Goombella. To be honest, this is the wrong house. Okay. Open up the door and see Bobby. Not by Blabberton's beard, not you again. No matter how many times you treat me, my stance is firm. Now away with you. Pardon? A letter, you say, from me? What, Scarlette? This is Scarlette's handwriting. Love, if you're reading this letter, then I'm no longer by your side. Because fate has stepped between us, I've decided to write you this letter. If you're reading this, I must have passed away while you were out at sea. I can only assume that you will blame yourself for it. Although my life was short, you gave me more than a lifetime's worth of joy. Though you will mourn, I beg that you remember that time like love is a tide. You are one with the sea as you are one with me. Do not lose both. Your lifeless loves. 1,000 pardons, but may I have a moment alone, if you please? Now then, you were looking for a navigator, I believe, bound for Keelhaul Key. If you think an old seaball like me is what you need, then let's shove off. Admiral Bobby, awesome! Okay, so that's a good news, I suppose. The ship's in the harbor. I must inspect it before we leave. I shall meet you there. I don't know why, but this is hitting me a lot harder than it normally does. Maybe because I'm actually like reading it for detail. Let's just move on and work on the troubles, because this is kind of a point of no return for a little bit. We are actually going to do them out of order, because Zest's is really easy. To complete Zest's trouble, all you have to do is actually find the cookbook in the secret room of the creepy steeple, which we did naturally. Man, getting so much email. Petunia. Okay, this is worth reading. Not the elder being mad at my brother, that's still the same. Do wish to come back to play sometime. Okay, blah blah. If you ever have time to come back here, come play with me, okay? You have to promise. And she has a secret egg. So that's important. It's a long story why it's important, but it's important. Also, the toad shopkeeper here, he's gone because he's coming with us. Let's talk to him also. These are actually good items. I'll consider it, though. If you go 2 screens, he will switch out items, if I'm not mistaken. You took my tribal? Well, it's really important, so listen, Mr. Klutz. Ages ago, there was a great legendary chef named Maitre Delish. Rumor has it you instantly become a better chef by reading his book. Unfortunately, it's an old book that's hard to find. Stories don't carry it. But I've recently heard that someone who used to live in the creepy steeple had a copy. Okay. Mr. Stumblebum. Yeah, she's so mad about the contact. Okay, let's give her the book. Ah, that's it. That's the book by Maitre Delish. Give it here, quick. Ha, I see. Aha. So now, this is basically the same as giving Tasty the cookbook from chapter 4, ironically. You basically get the ability to fuse, that's not the right word, combine 2 items. Fuse is like, that's not the right word. Honey Shroom is a good early game item. While we're here, before we accept the next trouble, I do want to actually show something. Now that we, oh shoot. Okay, I'm going to store the golden leaf, because it's needed, like, end game. Like, literally, it's needed at the end game. Okay, withdraw. And I'm going to take out the jamming jelly. If I'm remembering right, this is a really good idea. Again, I might be misremembering though. So let's do this. Jamming jelly and an ultra shroom. So this is, I think, the best item you can actually get at this point in the game. If I'm not mistaken, it is one of the best items you can actually get. It is really, really good. It is really helpful. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not entirely sure you'll like this, but go on, take it, Stompy. The Jelly Ultra replenishes 50 HP and 50 FP simultaneously. This is going straight into storage because we'll be saving this actually for the final boss. But every time you get a jamming jelly and an ultra shroom, I would recommend going ahead and just making them now to clear up inventory space. But yeah, it's super broken. It is the best early game healing item. And that's hilarious in early game because we have access to it in chapter, like at the end of chapter 4, we have access to it. Which just shows that, I don't know, this game's kind of easy. But it's like, it's a really good item. Actually no, I shouldn't do this one. I should do this one first because it'll take forever to do. Mayor Dower has a newsletter, and he wants us to deliver it to people. So we are going to Twilight Town to accept the quest, and we'll finish it in the next episode because it requires a fair amount of backtracking. So just save a little time to cut to the chase a little bit. Yeah, Jelly Ultras are really good. There's another item we'll be getting at the start of Chapter 5 that's also really good. At the end of the game that restores, I think, 20 HP and 20 FP. Which isn't as good, but it's still pretty super for early game. But yeah, that's the problem I do have, hoarding. I tend to hoard items in RPGs. Like, it is not uncommon for me in RPGs to have a good, like, 99 potions. In like a Final Fantasy, I usually end up with like 99 potions and never use them because I just use Curaga. So it's really weird. Or Cure 3 if you want to use more straightforward terms. I hope you deliver the Silver Club newsletter routing slip to the Great Tree Elder. I used to bring it myself, but this hip is really growling at me. Could you take it for me? Sure. Again, the reason why I want to take this quest is because we have to go out of West Rogueport, all the way across town, down East Rogueport, into the sewer, and then deliver it to the Elder Puny, which, frankly, will take a little bit of time that we don't have in the video, so we're going to start the next episode at the Elder Tree. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.